Before June 7th, Archangel Michael reveals who's betraying you and how to protect yourself. Open immediately. Before the veil of time closes on June 7th, a divine interruption has surged into your life, a sacred pause in your timeline. Not all will feel it, but you do. There's been a holy shift in the atmosphere around you, quiet yet undeniable. Time has bent around your destiny, and now a message must break through. Archangel Michael, heaven's warrior of light and protector of the chosen, has released a selective alert, and if these words have found you, you are part of that remnant. This is not coincidence. This is calling. There is betrayal in your midst. Cloaked, subtle, deceptive. Not the betrayal of enemies who announce their hatred. No. This is the betrayal that wears comfort like a mask, that offers warmth while planning your cold unraveling. It is someone you trusted, someone who hath been too quiet lately, someone who used to check in, and now only checks out. Their silence isn't peace, it's plotting. Their kindness isn't love, it's camouflage. And heaven cannot wait any longer. The alert must be sounded. But hear this with reverence. This message is not for the curious, the passive, or the spiritually blind. This is a dispatch for the awakened ones, the spiritually sensitive, those whose dreams are invaded, whose hearts detect the shift before words are ever spoken. If you are reading this and your spirit bears witness, then know, you are not crazy. You are being warned. And silence will become your greatest weapon. Heaven is watching who you become in the silence. You were not sent here to expose anyone. You were sent here to discern what has already been exposed in the spirit. To listen before speaking. To notice before confronting. To observe before reacting. Because betrayal is loud in the spirit, even when it whispers in the flesh. And the closer we get to June 7th, the more this masked presence will reveal its true face. But not to everyone. Only to those willing to listen in stillness. Only to those chosen to carry revelation without retaliation. Heaven has authorized a sacred warning. The angelic realm has lifted the veil and permitted a glimpse behind the scenes. This is rare. This is holy. And it is urgent. Before June 7th, what is hidden will knock at your awareness. Will you be still enough to hear it? Type "I am anointed" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1122 is now activated. Heaven is speaking now, and not through thunder or fire, but through a divine stillness that overtakes your spirit when the noise of the world falls away. And in that stillness, Archangel Michael steps forward, not to frighten you, but to awaken you. His sword is drawn, but not against flesh. It is drawn against illusion, against deception, against the masked betrayer hiding in your proximity. Let the atmosphere shift now. Let the room around you become a holy chamber. Let the distractions fall, for this moment is not a scroll through. It is a spiritual encounter. You were summoned. You were chosen. You were interrupted by heaven itself. And this is your only warning. In the next 72 hours, something will stir, not around you, but within you. Your spirit has already felt it, hasn't it? Unease, that flicker of suspicion, that weight that won't lift, even when you've done nothing wrong. It isn't paranoia. It's preparation. Heaven has paused your timeline, placed a divine hand upon your chest, and whispered, "Wait, look again." What you thought with loyalty is changing shape. What you thought was safe is shifting in the shadows. And this moment, this message, is the divine proof that you are not imagining it. Archangel Michael, heaven's warrior, speaks now with a sword of clarity. He does not come to explain. He comes to reveal. And the ones who hear his voice are the ones heaven trusts with revelation that will cost them comfort but protect their calling. You are not being given answers. You are being given alignment. You are not being fed names. You are being trained in discernment. Because this next betrayal is unlike the last. This one is familiar. This one is subtle. This one does not wear the face of an enemy. It wears the smile of someone who knows you. Heaven is sending you back into your memory. Replay those moments. The celebration that fell strained. The compliment that was too carefully worded. The silence when others were cheering. The hesitation in their eyes when your name was mentioned in blessing. You missed it before, but heaven didn't. And now, time is stopping so your spirit can catch up. This word is not for the masses. It is not for the casually curious or the religiously numb. This is a sealed word for the spiritually sensitive, the warriors of the secret place, the ones who have cried over people who smile in their face but war against them in silence. You are not just a victim. You are a vessel. In this betrayal, it is revealing not just what they are, but what you are becoming. This is sacred secrecy, and you must treat it as such. You will not need to argue. You will not need to confront. You will not need to explain your distance, because heaven is asking for your silence. That silence is not punishment. It is protection. That silence is not weakness. It is warfare. The less you say, the louder the Spirit speaks. And in that silence, you will see, you will hear, you will know. Archangel Michael now places a divine sword at your back, not to strike, but to stand. He declares, you are not crazy. You are not overthinking. You are not too sensitive. You are seeing with the eyes of the Spirit. You are hearing with the ears of discernment. And though they move in shadows, heaven has decided to light your path before they reach for your peace. His message did not come through your feed. It came through your frequency. You were aligned for this moment. Before June 7th, something will be revealed. The betrayal may be silent, but heaven will not allow it to remain unseen. There is no panic here. There is only preparation. Because heaven never reveals unless it's ready to redeem. You are not behind. You are not unprotected. You are not abandoned. You are covered. You were led here for a reason. You were warned because you are worthy of protection. Now, be silent, be still, and be ready. You are closer than you think to seeing who's been smiling at you while thinking of ways to delay you. The sacred alert has sounded. Type I am chosen in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 666 is now surrounding you. There is a storm behind their silence. You didn't notice it at first. The betrayal wasn't loud. It wasn't in obvious words or confrontations. It was in the quiet places, and the way their texts started coming later, and how they used to check in, and now only check out. It was in the way they no longer laughed at your jokes the same way, how they shifted the subject when the conversation tilted too close to your breakthrough. It was in the smile that didn't quite reach their eyes, and the tone that changed when you spoke of your next level. You brushed it off. You gave grace. You called it overthinking. But heaven didn't. And now, Archangel Michael speaks again. What you dismissed as discomfort was actually a divine destruction. Your spirit knew before their mouth could speak it, that your spirit was growing beyond their comfort. Your elevation convicted their stagnation. And slowly, something turned. Not externally, but within. You were marked for more, and they knew they could no longer manipulate what they couldn't measure. They once celebrated you. but only when your wings were folded. Only when you played small. Only when your dreams made room for their insecurities. But the moment you began to rise without their approval, the celebration turned to silent sabotage. You've been feeling it, haven't you? That emotional imbalance. That heaviness without a name. The energy that shifts when they enter the room. The way your peace turns anxious without explanation. It's not random. It's not anxiety. It's spiritual interference. Because you are being watched, not with admiration but with resentment. They've grown uncomfortable in your presence, not because you changed for the worse, but because you changed into the real version of yourself. And they don't know how to handle it. Heaven says, they've seen your glory before you understood it. That's why they stayed close, not to support, but to study. And now, the test is intensifying. You are not being paranoid. You are being prepared. The betrayal is silent because it's spiritual. The warfare is invisible, but the symptoms are tangible. That dream you had that didn't make sense. That random name that keeps repeating. That strange energy in a familiar space. All of it is coded. All of it is part of the divine alarm system. Your spirit is waking up. Archangel Michael has placed this knowledge before you, not to break your heart, but to protect your promise. The mask is slipping, and heaven is allowing you to see it. But only if you stop excusing what you know isn't aligned anymore. The tension is increasing because the separation is beginning. Don't fear it. Let it fall apart. Let the masks fall to the ground and shatter like glass. Let their silence reveal what their words cannot. You are not meant to beg for presents from people who have already exited your destiny. You are not required to justify your discernment. The Spirit has already confirmed what your emotions have tried to deny. There's no need for confrontation. The mask is slipping. And if you're honest, you can feel it. You may not have all the answers, but what you do have is this: confirmation. Heaven is speaking, and you were not wrong. If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving a super thanks with contributions of up to $20. Your kindness helps us bring more powerful content your way. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the Support Here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more spiritual revelations, prophetic warnings, and divine alignments sent straight to you. Your next word may arrive when you least expect it. Type "I am anointed" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1122 is now activated. Now that the veil hath been lifted, it is time to frame this for what it truly is, not a personal fallout, but a spiritual confrontation. This is not about friends falling out or relationships going stale. This is about kingdom territory. This is about the light in you confronting the hidden shadows in them. You are not at war with flesh and blood. You are not being attacked for your mistakes. You are being attacked because of your mantle, because of your anointing, because your presence irritates every spirit still pretending. Archangel Michael wants you to see the battle lines for what they are. You are being tested not because you are weak, but because you are worthy. And that test is not about retaliation. It is about restraint. This betrayal is not asking for your reaction. It is asking for your stillness. Heaven is watching how you hold your peace. You were never meant to fight this visibly. Your defense is not in confrontation. It is in consecration. Your silence is not passivity. It is prophecy. Every time you don't respond, you prove you've outgrown the trap. Every time you stay still, you grow stronger. And in that restraint, Heaven moves for you. Yes, they've plotted. Yes, they've whispered. Yes, they've maneuvered. But hear this. No weapon formed against you will prosper, not because you fought it, but because you didn't need to. The Lord himself rises when his children stay seated. The war is spiritual. The reward is generational. They targeted you because your light exposes what they've been hiding. Your spirit makes them uncomfortable because it carries truth they cannot fake. And so they strike in shadows, because they know they cannot reach you in the light. You have grown past their tactics, past their manipulation, past their silent games. What they cannot control, they try to contain, and when they cannot contain it, they try to curse it. But heaven has already covered you. You are sealed. You are watched. You are protected. Now hear this again. This is not your battle to fight. You are being trained in restraint. You are being refined in silence. You are being elevated without applause, tested without evidence, and promoted without a platform. Because this next level does not come from popularity. It comes from purity. Heaven has not forgotten your faithfulness. Your tears did not go unseen. Your confusion did not go unheard. God saw it all. And instead of sending you vindication through words, he is sending revelation through silence. And in that silence, he will frame everything. You'll look back and say, I didn't even have to lift a finger. Heaven fought for me. Do not take the bait. Do not stoop to explain. Do not lower your frequency to match their chaos. Because what they mean for harm, heaven is about to reframe for glory. You are not weak. You are not forgotten. You are not fragile. You are a fortress. You are a mirror reflecting what others refuse to become. And this betrayal, painful as it feels, is actually your confirmation. You were always set apart. Type I am shielded in the comments if you feel this word. Blessing code 7744 is encircling you now. The silence you've endured has not been empty. It has been strategic. Heaven has watched. Heaven has waited. And now, as the days press toward June 7th, the air around your destiny grows heavier. Time is moving differently for you. And it is not your imagination. Someone close is preparing to make their move. The betrayal is no longer brewing. It's nearly boiling. Archangel Michael stands alert, sword drawn, for the atmosphere has shifted. The test is nearing completion. The enemy has grown restless in their patience. What was whispered is about to be acted on. What was hidden is about to reach for your peace. And the Spirit of God says, they believe you are still blind, but I have opened your eyes. Yes, you're sensing it now, in your dreams, your conversations, your energy. A name that keeps repeating. A strange timing of certain encounters. A déjà vu that feels almost holy. These are prophetic cues, not coincidence. These are warnings encrypted in your reality, delivered through the divine intelligence of the Spirit. If you've been dreaming of faces from the past, waking up with tension in your chest, or suddenly feeling watched, you are not crazy. You are being cued. You are being spiritually signaled that something in your environment is no longer safe. You may not know who exactly. You may not know when. And that's the point. Heaven doesn't need to give you the full blueprint, because it's not your job to chase clarity. It's your job to stay covered. The escalation will not look like violence. It will look like subtle separation, a sudden conflict over nothing, a false accusation dressed in innocence, an unexpected coldness that you cannot explain. Watch. Observe. But do not engage. What is coming is not coming to fight you. It's coming to expose itself. The enemy is arrogant. They think your silence is ignorance. But your silence is intelligence. It is obedience. It is preparation. Heaven will not let this next move go unnoticed. But they have also sealed your mouth for a reason. Because the next 72 hours are not about reacting. They are about recording. Angels are watching. Not just the betrayer. They are watching you. They are watching how you hold your peace. How you guard your mouth. How you choose stillness over strife. Because your destiny is too powerful to be so easily distracted. The enemy is about to make a mistake. Not a grand one. A small one. A misstep. A moment of spiritual clumsiness. And in that moment, you will know. You won't need confirmation. You'll feel it in your bones. A conversation overheard. A message misdirected. A comment that was too specific to be a mistake. Heaven says, you'll catch it, and I'll confirm it. June 7th is not just a date. It is a divine checkpoint. And heaven is making sure you do not enter the next season with hidden enemies still seated at your table. What happens between now and then is a spiritual clearance. A detox. A reveal. And all you must do is stay awake. Stay aligned. Stay guarded. You are not here to expose them. You are here to outlast them. Type I am prepared in the comments if this word meets you. Blessing code 1199 is now surrounding you. Now that heaven has made the warning clear, it turns to your response. The alert has been sounded. The betrayer is stirring. But do not be lured into motion. The greatest mistake you could make now is reacting in your flesh. What is required is protection through stillness. What is being asked of you is a kind of strength few ever master. The strength to say nothing, to do nothing, and to observe everything. Archangel Michael speaks now as guardian, not just as warrior. He steps into your spiritual atmosphere with a divine command. Shield your energy. Anchor your peace. And withdraw your access. The people you're being pulled away from aren't being stolen. They're being filtered. You are not losing anything. You are being cleared for elevation. Heaven is giving you a protective protocol. You are entering a sacred fast, not just from food, but from interaction, from explanation, from engagement. A spiritual silence, a holy withdrawal. Because in stillness, the Spirit will speak. And in that quiet, heaven will show you everything. Say nothing. You nothing. Observe everything. Let them wonder what you know. Let them try to provoke you. Let them question your change. Don't flinch. Don't respond. Because what's happening now is not a test of your knowledge. It's a test of your authority. And real authority doesn't announce itself. It simply stands in silence while heaven handles it. You are now to be guarded, not paranoid but spiritually aware. Start praying over your room. Start covering your phone, your emails, your doorposts with divine protection. Not because you fear anything, but because you're in transition. When God begins to lift a person, the spiritual realm gets noisy. You are not crazy for wanting more solitude. You are not antisocial. You are in prophetic lockdown. Let peace become your home. Let the phrase "I am guarded by light" become your spiritual armor. Speak it daily. Declare it when anxiety rises. Whisper it when confusion tries to settle. You are surrounded. Archangel Michael is not just visiting. He is stationed. This is not temporary protection. This is a divine assignment from heaven to keep you safe as your spiritual environment shifts. You are not being punished with distance. You are being promoted through detachment. Your silence is a strategy. Your stillness is a signal to heaven that you trust the process. You do not need confrontation. You do not need closure. You need discernment. You need peace. And heaven says, if you will remain still, I will uncover what you couldn't even imagine. So protect your space. Protect your name. Protect your vision. No more overhearing. No more trying to explain yourself to those who are secretly hoping for your failure. No more leaking your light into hands that are only stretching toward you to dim it. This is your instruction. Observe everything. What they say when they think you're not listening. What they reveal in sarcasm. What your body feels in their presence. What your dreams repeat. Don't brush it off. Don't second guess. This is not fear, it is prophetic intelligence. Heaven is teaching you how to walk with awareness without walking in anxiety. You are covered. You are guided. You are being personally protected by heaven's highest-ranking angel. And nothing sent against you will prosper, because your stillness has become your shield. Type I am guarded by light in the comments to seal this word. Blessing code 8844 is now activated around you. You are standing in the middle of a breaking. Not a breakdown, but a breakthrough. The shedding you feel, the silence you're learning, the solitude you're sitting in, it's not a punishment. It's a promotion. Heaven has not stripped you of people and places just to leave you empty. No. It has cleared the room to reveal you. The true you. The risen you. The version of you they hoped would stay buried beneath their projections. Let this be said with power. You are not their version of you anymore. They knew a version of you that was quiet to keep peace. That silenced dreams to avoid offense. That lowered your light so others could feel tall. But that version of you was a seed. And now, the seed has cracked. The shell has burst. The roots have dug deep. You are rising. You are stretching. You are becoming. And the ones who stayed only for the shell cannot handle the bloom. What's happening now is not about revenge. It's about release. This shift isn't to prove anything to them. It's to prove something to yourself. That you were never meant to stay small. That your voice was never meant to remain hidden. That your spirit was not born to shrink into rooms where discernment is treated like rebellion. You are outgrowing environments that were never intended to contain your greatness. And so the betrayals came. Not to destroy you, but to free you. You see, heaven allowed them to break your heart so you could break the illusion. The illusion that you needed their approval to be valid. The lie that connection meant loyalty. The myth that shared history equaled shared destiny. It doesn't. Some people were only present for the rehearsal, not the performance. And you, chosen one, are now stepping into the stage of revelation. Break the soul ties. Release the memory of who they thought you were. You are not that fragile, fearful, people-pleasing version anymore. You are not the one they could manipulate with silence or control with presence. You are the one who rose anyway, who loved anyway, who stayed pure when bitterness would have been easier. And now, you're becoming untouchable. Not because you're prideful, but because you're anointed. Your healing is not just restoration, it's recalibration. Heaven has not only healed your heart, it has redefined your identity. You are no longer responding from trauma. You're moving from truth. You're no longer begging for invitations. You are building your own table. And this divine boldness, is what the betrayers feared most. Because they don't recognize you anymore. And that, beloved, is your advantage. They are looking for the version of you that would tolerate nonsense. the one that would apologize for being called, the one who would defend your presence in rooms that weren't even safe. But that version of you had been buried in silence, resurrected in fire, and crowned in revelation. You are the eagle now. Soar. You are the gold now. Refined. You are the voice now. Unshaken. Heaven has shifted you from pain to power. And though you may still feel the sting of recent wounds, know this: you are not bleeding anymore. You are building. You are walking into rooms not to prove anything, but to carry presence. You are no longer wondering if you're too much. You are now realizing they were never enough to hold you. Let the mask fall. Let the old ties break. Let the illusions shatter. You've grown too much to be trapped again. Type "I am rising" in the comments if this word finds you. Blessing code 5511 is now wrapping you in divine elevation. Everything that has fallen apart in the last season has not been a sign of divine absence. It hath been the strategy of divine precision. Heaven did not allow the betrayal to break you. Heaven allowed the betrayal to build you. What looked like loss was a lifting. What felt like rejection was actually redirection. You are not descending. You are being delivered. And this strange, painful, holy unraveling has been permitted for one reason: revelation. Archangel Michael stands over you now, not to fight, but to declare. Heaven is announcing something in the silence that can no longer be delayed. You have outgrown the level that once served you. And now the betrayal is your unlocking. Yes, you needed to see who they truly were. Not because they were your enemy, but because your next level could not carry the burden of spiritual deception. You were being too generous with your presence, too trusting with your peace, too accessible to people who were studying you, not supporting you. So heaven exposed it, not out of cruelty, but because your next requires clarity, and discernment is the currency of destiny. This is the shift. This is the upgrade. This is the divine filter. You are not moving into greater without greater eyes. You are not ascending with blurred vision. The betrayal didn't ruin you. It revealed you. It forced your spirit to come into full view. It brought the pieces together. And now, you are no longer walking by assumption. You are walking by sight. This is your unlocking. This is the activation. What the enemy meant to use as a snare has become your strategy. What they tried to use as sabotage has now been sealed as a spiritual setup. And the doors that closed, the conversations that ended, the invitations that disappeared, all of it was divine. Heaven was clearing the path for the version of you that no longer needs affirmation to function. Now the door stands open. The scroll is unrolling. And your name, yes, your name, is written into the next move of heaven. You were not overlooked. You were not forgotten. You were being hidden for the right moment. And now, as the final veil is torn back before June 7th, the heavens declare, this is your confirmation. Step in. The weight you feel right now is not grief. It is glory. It is the oil of the anointed finally rising to the surface. It is the power of identity replacing the ache of insecurity. It is your calling clashing with a container it can no longer fit inside. And if it hurts, good. That means the stretching has begun. That means your expansion is now irreversible. Heaven is proud of you. Archangel Michael smiles upon your obedience. The test came. The betrayal struck. And yet you stood. You withheld your reaction. You passed the silent test. And now you're being released. And not into just another season, into your divine level. What awaits you is not applause. It is alignment. What's coming next is not noise, it is assignment. You are about to be trusted with clarity like never before, with authority like never before, with insight like never before. But that clarity will require consistent discernment, because what's ahead is greater, but so are the costs. Stay pure. Stay wise. Stay watching. And know this, heaven knows your name. Your nefs is written, and the betrayal with the key. If this message touched your spirit, and you feel led to help us keep producing these powerful messages, consider giving a super thanks with a contribution of up to $10. Your generosity truly makes a difference. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Be sure to subscribe now so you never miss these urgent revelations and divinely timed words crafted for your journey. Type "my next" is written in the comments if this is your confirmation. Blessing code 4411 is now etched over your next chapter. You've seen the signs. You've discerned the betrayal. You've endured the silence. You've passed the test. Now, the heavens are calling for activation. This is not the time to replay what they did, relive what you lost, or rehearse what went wrong. No. This is the moment you rise. This is the moment you open your mouth and say yes to the shift. Because the shift is here. The old has passed. The masks are off. The silence has done its job. Now comes the movement. You can feel it in your chest. The pressure. It's not fear. It's not anxiety. It's divine energy. The atmosphere around you is pressing on your spirit. Why? Because destiny is knocking. Not gently, but urgently. You're not waiting on God. God is waiting on you. He's waiting for your mouth to match your mandate, for your posture to match your prophecy, for your words to match your weight. This is the part most never reach. Many discern betrayal. Some even pass the test of silence. But very few make it to this moment, the moment where they choose to rise anyway. Because rising requires courage. It requires you to let go of the wounds you nurtured. It requires you to stop waiting for closure from people who never intended to give it. It requires you to stop asking for permission to become who you were born to be. You have been in a divine cocoon, wrapped in protection, hidden in plain sight. But now the wrapping is being torn. The seal is being broken. And heaven is saying, it's time. Speak this now, loud or in your spirit. I say yes to the shift. I rise now. Don't say it weakly. Don't whisper it out of fear. Declare it as if heaven is recording it, because it is. The Spirit is watching for those who are ready to be counted, to be trusted, to be sent. You were not meant to carry all that weight just to survive. You were meant to lead. Your testimony is not just a story, it's a sword. What they did to you gave you authority. What they spoke against you gave you revelation. And your destiny now demands movement. This is the hour of action. Not reckless, reactionary motion, but holy, Spirit-led direction. You are not stepping forward emotionally. You are stepping forward prophetically. You are stepping into a chapter that will redefine your identity in the eyes of those who tried to reduce you to your past. You are not their version of you. You are heaven's design. And here's what must be declared: your silence was never weakness. It was preparation. And now that heaven has finished its work in hiding, it demands your voice in activation. Begin to speak differently. Begin to walk differently. Begin to wake up each day not asking why did they hurt me, but declaring why was I called. The tables are turning. The power is shifting. And this version of you has no interest in revenge, only reign. You are no longer avoiding destiny. You are aligning with it. You are no longer questioning if you're ready. You are claiming that you're chosen. You are no longer hoping for change. You are becoming the change. You've cried enough. You've waited long enough. You've been still, silent, and surrendered. Now, it's time to move. This is your moment. Don't shrink back. Don't second guess. Don't explain. Just rise. Type ISAYYES in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 2277 is now surrounding your steps. There are things moving in the spirit that your eyes have not yet seen. There are decisions being made, battles being waged, scrolls being opened, names being recorded, rewards being assigned. But all of this, every sacred transaction, is happening in silence. You may feel forgotten, but in the realm of the Spirit, you are the priority. Archangel Michael speaks now with divine authority. While they whispered against you, heaven declared your name. While they planned your fall, angels constructed your restoration. While you wept in confusion, the thrones of heaven were aligning your comeback. You have not been stagnant. You've been seated in divine exchange. What is divine exchange? It is what happens when betrayal triggers movement in the heavens. An injustice in the natural realm unlocks intercession in the spiritual one. It is the unseen transaction where what was stolen is being returned, and what was hidden is being revealed. It is where heaven answers silently but swiftly. You must understand, every tear, every moment you held your tongue, every time you chose peace instead of petness, every night you prayed instead of retaliated, it counted. That was recorded. Not metaphorically, literally. There are scrolls with your name, and they are being unsealed. Heaven is not emotional. Heaven is judicial. Heaven operates by spiritual law, and betrayal is not just emotional damage. It is a legal breach of spiritual trust. That means the moment it was done, the courts of heaven convene, and the exchange began. You see, you were never called to fight in flesh. You were always meant to conquer in spirit. And while you were quiet, while you walked away, while you grieved alone, the angels were not still. They were moving, negotiating, rehearsing, recompensing, writing restoration clauses into your scroll. There are thrones that have shifted. There are seals that have broken. There are decrees that have been stamped, not with the ink of man, but with the fire of heaven. And you are now walking in the early stages of those decrees. What looks like coincidence is actually confirmation. A sudden peace. It's not random. It's justice. That unexpected provision. It's not luck. It's restitution. That person exiting your life without reason. It's not confusion. It's a divine release. You have stepped into the part of the story where the reversal becomes official. And the best part, you didn't have to fight for it. You had to yield to it. While you were trusting, the Spirit was transacting. While you were silent, heaven was signing. Imagine it now. Scrolls being opened. Golden seals being cracked. Your name written in glory. Your timeline being adjusted. The traps being dismantled. The lost years being restored. The double portion being assigned. The new names being given. This is no longer a battle. This is a silent exchange, and the enemy can do nothing to stop it. Stay in position. Keep your posture humble. Let your gratitude be louder than your grief. And walk forward knowing this. You don't have to announce anything. The Spirit has already approved everything. You are the recipient of a holy reversal. You are the beneficiary of a silent recompense. And nothing the enemy tried to delay will remain withheld. It is coming. It is happening. It is yours. Type "Heaven is recompensing me" in the comments if you receive this prophetic transaction. Blessing code 3003 is now releasing divine restoration on your behalf. The story does not end with your silence. It does not end with their betrayal. It does not end with broken trust or buried potential. No, this is the moment heaven turns the page. This is the place in your story where divine justice is not just whispered, but witnessed. What was done in darkness is now subject to heaven's judgment. And hear this loud and clear: what was done will return tenfold. Heaven is not second justice. The delay was never denial. The silence was not neglect. It was strategy. Because what heaven is about to release upon your life, the reversal, the recompense, the reward, required full exposure. And now, with the mask removed, the betrayal documented, the spiritual court convened, the sentence has been issued. Archangel Michael now stands in full authority, commanding the angelic hosts on your behalf. Not to fight, that war has already been won, but to release, to restore, to reverse. Because spiritual law is this: what was stolen from the righteous must return multiplied. What was weaponized against the anointed must serve their future. And what was spoken in slander will now become the soil of supernatural acceleration. They dug a pit for your downfall, and fell into it themselves. They threw stones, and hid their hands. And now the very stones they hurled are being used to build your next platform. This is not karma. This is not chance. This is covenant justice. Heaven does not forget. Heaven balances the scale. And right now, the scale has tipped in your favor. Everything you lost, time, energy, trust, opportunity, is being returned. But not in the same form. Heaven doesn't give back in copies. It returns in glory. What you cried over will now be used as confirmation. What you mourned will now become your message. The very hands that tried to break you will now witness your rebuilding, and they won't be able to stop it. What they planted against you, every seed of discord, every lie, every delay, has now matured into your harvest. You see, what they meant to ruin you actually fertilized the soil for your future. Their envy became your elevation. Their silence became your sanctuary. And their absence made room for divine abundance. Now the reversal begins. You're going to start receiving what you didn't ask for, not because you manipulated, not because you pushed, but because you obeyed. Doors will open that were locked before. People will bless you who don't even know your name. Strategies will come to you in dreams. Favor will track you in quiet places. Not because of who you are, but because of what you endured in silence. And here is heaven's declaration. The very ones who mocked your tears will now watch your triumph. Do not gloat. Do not retaliate. Do not parade. Justice is not revenge. It is balance. It is divine correction. Let your elevation speak for itself. Let your life become the proof. Because while they tried to cancel you, heaven was crowning you. Your name is being honored in rooms your feet haven't entered yet. Your influence is expanding. Your clarity is increasing. And those who wished for your downfall, they have no authority here. Let the reversal roll like thunder. Let the justice fall like rain. You are not rising because you forced it. You're rising because heaven ordered it. If this word touched your spirit and you'd like to sow into the continued creation of these messages, consider giving a super thanks with contributions of up to $5. Your generosity fuels more content like this and helps spread these divine messages to those who need them most. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Be sure to subscribe to this channel so you stay in tune with every prophetic release, every spiritual instruction, and every heavenly breakthrough designed for your journey. Type "Heaven has ruled in my favor" in the comments to claim this verdict. Blessing code 9339 is now active around you. It's over. Not your calling, but the warfare around your identity. Not your hope, but the silence that tested it. What the enemy meant to suffocate has now been saturated in glory. You didn't just survive, you transformed. You didn't just endure the betrayal, you inherited the blessing buried beneath it. Let this truth settle deep into your spirit. This was never a fall, it was a lift in disguise. You were not buried, you were planted. And the roots you thought were weakness, they were your depth being formed for heights you couldn't even imagine. Now, in the name of Jesus, through the authority of heaven's courts, by the command of Archangel Michael, I speak this blessing over you. May your discernment increase until no counterfeit can stand in your presence. May your peace remain unshaken, even when the winds of warfare rise. May your joy return in waves that cleanse your memory of the pain. May every room you enter feel your presence before you speak. And may those who once betrayed you be used to elevate the announcement of your arrival. You are now entering into a sealed season, where no hand but God's can touch your destiny. The betrayal was the door, but your discernment is now the key. Walk through it, confidently, quietly, courageously. Don't carry the weight of what they did. Don't replay the disappointment. Don't linger in places where your growth intimidates their comfort. You were not made to remain in mourning. You were made to manifest. This is your affirmation. You are sealed. You are seen. You are sent. Heaven has released you into purpose, not as a follower of fear, but as a carrier of fire. Not as a prisoner of the past, but as a prophet of your future. And as you go, say it aloud, even now. I am the chosen. I rise. I walk covered. I will not look back. Let that be your rhythm. Let that be your roar. The betrayal didn't break you. It built you. This is the divine conclusion. But for you, it's only the beginning. Type "I am the chosen. I rise" in the comments if you receive this blessing. Final blessing code 7770 is now upon your path.